Okay, good morning traders. Welcome to TradeSetup and the morning stream for Monday the 24th of October. I hope we all had a good weekend, enjoy themselves, a bit of relaxing going on there. Myself personally went down to the Grand Prix and watched the GP motorbikes, so that was a great weekend, but I've come back a bit ruby-faced, a bit red-faced there, so all looking the stage as well before being tanned, so that'll be nice. We'll go through obviously the normal. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them into chat. If there's any codes you want to look at, anything at all that you just want to have a bit of a look at, put into chat, or you can send it to support@tradesetup.com.au. So you can send those off, any charts that you want to have a quick look at as well, and then we'll just discuss those as we go. All right, we'll kick it off. Let's get into it. We got the market. The market on Friday night wasn't really, nothing happened in the US session too much. Markets pretty much finished flat. Europe as well. Europe is obviously now they're looking towards potential, further stimulus from the ECB, but we'll have to see how that goes. It could be in December as well, along with the US rate rise in December. So US is gearing up for that. We've got the US reporting seasons well underway, and they had a bit of some lackluster reports on Friday night. I think that's why the market was capped a bit. That's why it didn't do too much, but yeah, still looking towards rate rises. I think what the traders may be looking at now is if some of these stocks are not performing now in such a low interest rate environment, what's going to happen in December when they start looking to raise rates and things get a bit tighter for them. So yeah, I think there could be a few stocks could be hammered if they don't perform, if they don't outperform above expectations anyway. So that's going to be something to just keep an eye on in the US anyway. So that could, if there's a few start underperforming, we could get to a bit of a rollover in the market, but we'll see how it goes. That's not until December, so there's we've got a month and a half or so before we worry about that too much. All right, let's go into some charts now. This is the ASX 200. We spoke about this morning in the morning alert, morning jumpstart. We have got good uptrend here on the daily. Starting to see it roll over, which we haven't seen before. We had this good. Was doing a similar thing here. That was before the trend really changed. We made this higher low in here, but really before that, nothing too much better. Took out these highs. If we can just draw these in bit by bit. So we had a high here. Took out the high, made a new high here, higher low. Right through here, made a new high. We had a bit of a pullback just in here, but that was after we took out this high. So yeah, not the same price action. Had a good correction of this leg up, back down to here. We made a high low just in here. We've got that there. Made a high, and then had a bit of a crack at the 5600. So it started pushing up, made that minor, the inside lower high there, and then we pushed down to make to hold trend basically, and push down to 5150, and we pushed up from there. So what we're seeing now is the potentially, or the makings of a major lower high at 5505. So if we're going to, just trading now, considering we've had this, 1, 2, 3 legs up, I guess, that it could easily just roll over, but we've just got to take all that into account. We are getting to oversold, so I'd suggest if we do break that 5380 and come down here and still holding daily trend, we're going to be well oversold. So that that potential anchor, it's not an anchor just yet to that next leg up at 5150, but it's, if that gets tagged, I think we're going to be in some trouble anyway. But that could hold it up. I don't think we're going to pull short of that. Just looking at the market now, we're going to hit oversold. So that's if that scenario plays out anyway. But 5380, I think, is something that's just got to hold up shorter term, and we may get a bit of a touch there, a bit of a washout, and then start building again. If we can draw that in. This type of price action. So we may get that sort of move down, a bit of a washout, blow back into that range, and then a bit of contraction for that move higher. That's what could happen. Everyone's pretty negative just at the moment. Well, it looks like anyway. The market's starting to roll over. This is not a key level, by the way, 5380. It's just this leg up had a minor, push up, pull back, made the high low just within this leg. That's just a high low, previous high low, but these, this is also one that's got blown through at 54.19 before we made that 55.05 highs. We drilled down. Not a nice open today. I think the ASX, where's that trading at the moment? XJO down 32, so it's not flash just at this present moment, and that does look like it could easily just roll over. Yeah, I mean, on a daily basis, the XJO, it's not in a oversold condition. It can easily go oversold and come right back, drop 100 points. So it's something we're just going to have to keep an eye on. Okay. Alright, give me a second. It looks like the PC, I know what's happened. Give me 2 seconds there, guys. I just got to quickly fix something. I'll just go on. I'm just going to go mute myself for a minute. Okay. Yes, I'll just sort this out, but we'll keep looking at the ASX. Edit. Okay, sorry, I was just, so anyone that's just had a problem maybe going from that link, there's a live streaming link to the desktop. Just have a quick try now to see if that's working. I've just updated something there. Just see if that's gone through now. Alright, so just obviously just close down. I just want to see if close down the app and just give that a go there. But that should be up and running now. Might just have to reset the actual app. Anyway, we'll continue on there. No worries. So just going on with the ASX here. So we've had that good push down on the open there. This is a half-hour chart, so it's only got the one candle, but yeah, you can see that we were talking about a potential wash out of this 54.32 level. It spiked up hard into there. It was overbought, but that's a lot of the times when you get that sort of scenario, you'll get people just trying to sell into that because of overbought scenario, whatever their risk is, but they tend to blow through those levels right on the open and then just topple over from there. And we did get that. But we really haven't seen this type of price action. It's just blown straight through 54.13 on the downside. Now we could just be holding up above that 53.93 as we are down 30 points just at the moment. So we'll see how that plays out the rest of the day. Over to the Aussie. Yeah, good. That leg up here, we were looking at it originally. I think it was around there. We sent out an alert in the evening, and I think the next day we're looking for that support to hold and potentially break up through there. We did get that, then we come back down and tested that support. Now that is still a good little level, and we just really contracted our way back to that major support zone, that trend line there, and then held that, built a higher low, which is intraday. That's if you could trade something like that, if you're looking at FX trading opportunities, if you could actually see that, which probably hasn't come out. Let's just try that again. So we've got that level we're looking at. We've got then the support decided to hold in here, if we can see that there, and then intraday as an FX buy opportunity on this chart anyway. You've got major support there. You've got that high low. That trend is starting to hold. It's continuing to hold. It's just touched back down again. Great little buying opportunity there, and especially when you're this type of consolidation just below a key level at 77.10, we had a key level, and that 77 mark That to me, is a great little trading opportunity. You've got your risk, defined risk, quite low. You're looking for that punch up into that take out those stops. You know it's going to target that level. There's going to be some stops packed in there, and don't forget, I think the longer term bias for the Aussies been down, so there's going to be a lot of short term sell stops to be triggered. It could be a big washout. We could see a flush out in the near future. We don't know how that's going to play out, but we don't mind that being on the buy side of the market as long as it's set up, and that's a good little good buying opportunity. Now we did get that flush out of that level, key level, up towards the highs at 77.50. So we could be longer term just really contracting in on the Aussie. So you can see that push up above that most recent high on the longer term charts anyway. That pullback, off a major high low here. So we'll see if this level holds up and we can get that sort of high low to build. We've got a bit of work to do, obviously a fair bit of work to do. We may get a bit of a flush out like that, push up, build the high low, then go. But I think now that get rid of some of these just to clean up this chart a bit. If we have got that sort of support, that resistance line there holding, sorry, that trend lower, need to punch up through there. A fairly significant move, and then pull back to build that high low to go to make those highs. But obviously that's going to take some time to play out. We could just from here just roll over, take out this top support level in here, minor support, and then push through that, push through 75, 84 and down. All right, any questions on that? We'll get into some stocks now. Let's just have a quick look at how the market's going. This is our CKF, which we're hoping not to break below that 491. I was hoping it may hold up there. Had some good rejection today. Push up through, I think it's through $5. I think it got up there. Let's just check the stock charts here. Sorry guys. No, okay, that was just the CFD pricing there. So we did open up higher 496 and then we've just edged lower. Now I am liking it for maybe a retest of this level here at 475. That breakout we could get there, a bit of a pullback just below that, wash that out a bit and then go. That's why we've got our stop is just above the entry level, just on the remaining risk anyway. It's above that entry level at 462 or 3 I think it was. Actually you can just go back to that 463. So we've got our stop around that 469 just on the remaining. I do expect if that's going to hold up through that level, let's just do that, through that level in there, those highs there, we should be right. I mean, there's a good chance it can push down, blow us out, get tagged on that stop there and then bounce back up. But if it's a strong market, you shouldn't necessarily see that really deep correction. You want to see a bit of a pullback, a minor correction, and then go if it's going to trade to higher highs. So in essence, if we do get tagged, you'd probably be questioning that overall trend anyway. And really if that's $5.10 mark is going to hold. But if not, if this overall trend holds up and we do get tagged on it, then we'll just look for a re-entry as well. I mean, if that market proves to be strong, we're wrong. So we'll just keep an eye on that anyway. Alrighty, let's get these up and away here. So anything someone wants to look at, if you want to just chuck in a code into the live stream, if you're onto chat, just get into it there. Alrighty, just taking a quick look at what's happening here. Alright, let's just go to another. So NMT, we were looking at that where it's just a new alert there. So we like this sort of rolling bottom in there. Maybe I'll try and draw that up. Let me just get it to a nicer chart there. Now, where's our fancy little icon there? Alright. So this one, the reason behind this trade is that we've got some decent support in here. it's, well, if we just go back, it's straight through this type of level. So it's tried it a few times. It's starting to push up off that level there, and then we've just really just sort of broken this downtrend. So I like when you see that the market's contracting down, the support's holding, you start breaking up. Now we don't know if this is going to hold up, and then we, get this sort of price action. So we've pushed down, we're starting to push up, and if we've pushed up to that same resistance level, whether we just back off, do that same type of price action to go. We don't know if it's going to happen, or we just blow out here, pull back, retest, and then go. So at the moment, we've given ourselves a good opportunity for that to hold. Now, if it does roll over and come this type of price action, backs off, tries it again, and then just goes boom, straight through support, okay, so be it. If we get this type of, failed push through, and you get that becomes a lower high in there, and then rolls over, then okay, we've taken a trade, and we've got risk quite tight there. So we're happy to give that a go, and just see if it can push up into. It's showing good signs. That little spike up, it was rejected, but that's a good initial sign that okay, it's had a bit of a run up there. On the big picture, it's not too big. It's not a massive big move up, but we're coming off. We're in that unknown zone, which is always good. You're going to get these little moves, and then sellers come back in who but you've got less sellers obviously because of the price structure. Then more buyers are happy to step in with a bit less. They're seeing that as that picture's starting to play out a bit better, and then we get this type of price action when they build, when it builds and pushes back up again. Okay, yeah, so we do like this one, and it could easily push up into this type of zone up here. What's that, 50 actually. So if we get this type of stair-stepping action, we push back up into there, retest the highs, potentially push through. We may have a correction off this level, but that's the type of thing we're looking for. We're going to have probably a bit more resistance up there, but by that stage, when you hit 40, 41, we're up already. We've locked in some gains, and we'll just see how that plays out. So yeah. Alright, Paul, we got MPL. Let's just take a look at that. Yeah, that market there, that move, that good move lower on the weekly anyway. You can see that in the daily as well. Has come into a good zone there. We could still easily get a pullback there. It hasn't. That's a really minor level, and you can see the MAs. I like to look at that quite a bit. They're coming in on themselves, but the market could easily pop up. You never know what's going to happen. You just got to really watch that price action play out. It could take a few days. I mean, not saying there will definitely be a pullback, but from what we're seeing there, markets. Well, let's just draw it up. All right. Medibank Private. So we've got. Let's just draw up the key levels here. We've got a key level. It's obviously responding to that. We've had and this is going from the left of the chart. You've had a higher low building here. From this level here, right down at $2. Built that high low, popped up through this recent high, come back. It failed to close that gap. Which is a pretty good strong sign. You can see that found some strength in there. The market rallied high, made the lower high, pushed down. So if that was strong, that should have come up from here. Had a deeper correction and then gone. Now it struggled. So we've got a major lower high here from the highs up there. It's pushed down. It's had a good strong. So we've gapped down. The reverse of this type of price action, we've gapped down. Maybe on a minor scale, you've got that little level there. You've got that rolling over level there, pushed into that support. So it's pushed into this support. From here, technically, that trend is, that trend for me is still heading lower. This could just be reaction. So you've had a big leg down there. We could just be stair-stepping our way up, pull back, and so on, until we get those failed. If I can draw it out here, we may be getting this type of price action up until we get that level holds, and we get that push down a lower high, even a minor double top, and then get that. But at the moment, you just want to, if you're looking to buy into this, I'd be patient. I mean, if it just goes from here, so be it. That's just what happens. But there's a few factors pointing, being overbought. I would be happy just to just to wait and see what happens there and get those failed lows. And then from here, if this does play out, you get a failed high, even a double top, and that pressure starts coming. You're taking it at these little minor levels. This is all the minor scale. Then you get that pullback. Then you're trying to, obviously the next key level is back down at 235. And go, what's going to happen if that's the key level down there? If we can just draw that up, are we just going to get this price action? We pull up short and do the reverse. You know, are we pulling up short? So really, that's a higher low. How we've come into 235 down here, and then we start failing and just doing the opposite of what we've done up there. Push down, take out that, you know, that key sort of anchor holding the trend down, just that shorter term trend down. Take it out. We build the higher low in here, and then we go. That's ultimately where I think you'd want to be. Well, if we can just change all these colors. Whoop, that doesn't look nice, does it? That's the type of price action you want to see. Now, if this just keeps going up, and you're thinking about buying it, then you just want to. I'd be just holding off now. That's my personal opinion anyway. I just want to see some bit more price action before 235. It's still got to prove itself, in my opinion. You've still got that move down, it hasn't broken just yet, because this is the key levels at 310. We could just be making a key lower high, a major lower high, and then rolling over. So if you tend to, you know, jump in here before you see the price action play out, you could get whitewash and it could come straight down, back down through 235. You know, close that gap, even test right back down to the support at $2. So you haven't seen this longer term price action just play out yet. Shorter term, that could have been a little trade in here, but you only really, your time frame sort of that leg down. No worries. So that's what I see playing out just there. Anything else someone wants to have a quick look at? I know we've got one. Let's just get it up. It was Anne-Marie who sent in a chart. If I can just grab that. Sorry, let me just find out where we put that. It's RHC. Let's take a look at it. Alright. So let's just analyze this. Start off. We'll just obviously there's no real need to start off on a weekly. We can see what's happening there. It's in a major uptrend. Okay. The sort of the key thing I'll be looking at. I mean, you can if we just go best fit. Looking at this, you obviously can see there's an uptrend here on a weekly basis. If you're getting in on a weekly basis, it's going to be a bit tough because it is quite strong. That trend is quite strong. You've had a little minor contraction in here, pop up, pull back, you know, good leg up. Had some major contractions. So this is sort of our key zone where it's going to maybe, if we do get a bit of a pullback, it's going to provide a bit of action. Some buyers are happy to step in, and we could be looking for. This is the current leg up. If that is a full extension of that leg up, we get some contraction, which is starting to look like that's happening there. We want to be seeing those major lower highs. So at the moment it's in a bit of a, it's in that zone. It's right sort of on the cusp of up or down, just on the weekly chart anyway. This could easily just, you know, go build that base from here and go and continue that weekly trend higher. But overall, that weekly, that looks nice. That looks nice. I think we got some major support at 55, just above that. That double bottom just there, built a higher low in here, then we're gone. So just look at it on a daily basis. So you got that double bottom right down here. That's the high low that we formed. Let's just get our little. So all right. So we've got a major support zone there. We've got a high low just in here, which is built. So that's what we, you know, if you're going to sort of front run that, well, front run that level there, anticipating that break through there, you'd want to do it in this zone because that's some major good some really nice important structure just to keep an eye on. You know, we've got that push down. We've made a low 56, pushed back up to the highs, retested the highs, pushed back down, and failed to go through those lows at 5600, and bounced up quite hard. Made that lower high. Okay, so from this price point, right bang just in here. If you're looking at, you don't know what's going to happen here. You're looking at here, it starts rolling over, and then you get this buying up, so you go, okay, this is starting to build that picture that I like to see on a longer term basis. That could potentially be the high low. Where do I want to buy? You're sort of looking for a breakout of that zone. So if you're buying somewhere in here, good, you can hold your risk down here, and you're at least anticipating a push up to 60 or 60, 69. Yeah, 69. Push up to that 69 resistance or that 68 resistance just in here. Yeah, then you've got a little profitable trade. You can lock in a gain, or you can just let it all run and just tighten up your risk. Yeah, that was a price action at that point. So we've headed up. We've made a higher low, higher low. So if you take that into account, you're trying to follow this leg up. You don't know what's going to happen from here. I think at Anne-Marie actually did a trade. It was just buying it just in here. It was just those break of those recent highs. Her aim now is to try to, refine her entries, which I think is great. Obviously, we've had this price action here, and that's what's got her caught. Just with I think there's a special dividend announcement or something like that. Up until that point, I don't have anything wrong with that trade, and that's very unfortunate to see that push down. But as a trade, it's more, I would say, more bad luck that's come out of the blue and just washed out a few traders, obviously, a few on the long side. But if you're just breaking it down up until that point as a trade, even that support is it's starting to. I'm probably taking another view there. It's starting to break it just at that point. So you've got that low is holding. Potentially that's a higher low just in here, and then you've taken out these highs. It's a bit of a washout, and it's pulled back, retested. It's gone. It's not too bad a trade. It's an entry. This is probably the first initial sign that's starting to work against you, where it could just, okay, that is a washout and it's starting to roll over, and this type of trend is going to hold now. Maybe come back up, roll over. But overall, I think as a trade with small risk, that's not too bad. I don't mind that at all. And that's the key behind it all, is just taking these types of low risk entries. You can define your risk, where you're going to place it, where you're going to exit. You can define that quite, and your targets. You've got some targets that could be 2 to 1 or more. If you're structuring your trades that way, longer term, obviously these things can happen. Sometimes when you don't see it coming, you don't know what's happening. I mean, you're not going to know unless you're sitting on the board of the company, but you can't. These, have happened to me. They've happened to everyone. I think when you've got done on just a shock announcement or something that's just unforeseen announcement. But yeah, if you're structuring your trades consistently like that, that's all you want is consistency. The next time you do this similar type of trade, this is going to work. It's going to push up through that 81. Well, not on this stock, but that's going to be that type of price structure going to build and push higher for you. Okay, I hope that helped. Like I said, I don't see much working against that trade at that point, and really this is really the first sign that could have easily held up, gone back up, even retested there. And if you start to see that struggling, and then rolling over, then you could have exited there. But yeah, then they come out with that shock announcement there. Anyway, any question on that? If you're watching Anne-Marie, just shoot out a question. Alright, so we've got Paul, we're stock in S32. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is. But Anne-Marie, just quickly on that trade, what I do like is obviously your entry, and I think we've discussed this. It's just working on your refining your entries and just getting in more of that unknown sort of area. I mean, here, just eyeballing this one here, the unknown. Well, let's just put it. I like different colours. What's happening in here is more the unknown. Even structuring a trade just in there. See that savage push down, then you popped up, just taking out those highs, and then you're starting in this price action in here. That's in the unknown. When you start getting the popping up through there, this is a very hard one to trade. It's getting a bit harder, but you're starting to see that similar type of price action as here, just in here. But like I said, the only real thing, everything as in support resistance is working in your favor. It's just that little pop through that rising support, which sometimes that could easily happen a washout on a weekly, bang, go straight back up. So yeah, what you're doing is putting yourself in the right regions. Probably the only other thing, that leg up is starting to get away from this consolidation zone, a bit extended. But apart from that, yeah, like I said, just keep doing that. Keep aiming to do the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, what we were talking about, Paul's S32. Oh, and that worked out great. Yeah, that worked out great again. That's right. For some reason, this program does not like this. And I've got it on a list, and I don't know how I got it. All right. South 32. All right. So it has since roared ahead here. Yeah, no, definitely, you're right. That was a missed opportunity. So that's where, yeah, sometimes you just get stopped out and you just got to bite the bullet and probably sit in the corner and have a bit of a cry. But yeah, it was a missed opportunity. From here, it's really hard to see what could happen from here because that's the only data you've got. You know, right back to, what was it, last year, mid last year. So we've just gone over a full. Yeah, we've got probably nearly not a year and a half, year and a quarter of data so far. It's just pushed down, and we've got, this is really the first sort of structure that we like to push it high, and then you've got it again in here. If we just go to the daily, that would show up a bit better. That price structure is good. Now, for me personally, if you take it in context of that leg, there's no reason why it can't keep going up. But I think we're getting towards overbought, and we are actually getting towards overbought, but that's getting a bit stretched. If I can just draw that up, draw it on here. So, and it's hard because you don't have any key levels to be working from to where it could be going into. That's just taking out those highs, pop through, retested on a minor scale, and it's gone back up. So at this point, I'd say we're getting a bit, not just extended in this leg, but extended in all of this. I'd want to see a bit more of this type of action. Okay, even on a major, a longer term, if it's starting to get a bit overbought here, you tend to get, if this is the same level that's pushed up, it's pulled back, it's consolidated just in here on a minor scale, and then it's gone. We could easily just start doing this type of price action, pull back, major consolidation. You get this type of price action, start building maybe. That is what I'd prefer to see right now. Yeah, I know it could be a bit of the same as before. We got in, got chopped out, and then it just goes on without us. But I'd rather take the risk to get in and see some contraction, because that type of price action, once you get that, that's a bit of a washout of both sides. It starts to bring in more buyers. People might get washed out, they look for another re-entry, or some new people who think that's a bit stretched. It's got this type of price action, they're happy to get in around here, and then it's gone in their favor. That's what I would like to see now. It doesn't have to be it could keep going up and come back and do a major retest, consolidate around this zone, but I just want to see some sort of consolidation, a bit of a pullback, because this type of price action washes out some buyers, then consolidate, and then go, and then you could be potentially for another good leg right up. Yeah. Keep an eye on fundamentals, market sentiment. Yeah, look, I didn't know this stock previously. Like I said, we're just I can't remember. It was back in August, wasn't it? So it was back in here. I like this type of price action. It's more just that we got washed out of our level, and it's probably more, more unfortunate. And I reckon at that stage I had some very tight risk, which is probably the wrong thing to do. Should have given a bit more room to play out. But that's why it is where keep an eye on the fundamentals could really help out too. It just adds to your, I guess, your trading, um, adds to your arsenal too. I tend not to look at it just because I'm looking at the stocks, and like I said, if you get out of this one, this would have been great to hold, but we could have got into something that's paid off just the same. I'm not sure what happened after that entry, but yeah, I think you're right. You're right when you say that. Looking at the market sentiment and all that sort of stuff, but getting too focused on one stock is what I try to tend not to do. And that's what I find with me personally. Fundamental starts getting me to focus more on one stock, and I start getting a bit more biased in that respect. Whereas I'd rather just look at a trade. Okay, I know, have a quick look at it. What's it doing? It looks good. Fundamentals look okay. I'm happy to buy into that. I got stopped out in that respect. Okay, I moved on to the next one. Look for another good setup. I should say so far so good. The results are showing nicely. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. All right. Anything else want to have a quick look at there? Anne Marie, you got anything there, or Paul, you got something to have a look at? Always easy in hindsight. I'm the world's best hindsight trader. Was as I'm sure most people are too. I think I will freely admit that probably about when we started doing the alerts and we started looking at this market's a bit serious. I had a little problem with just tightening my wrist too quick, and I did that a couple of times, which I paid for, which is fair enough. But since I found that I've just refined that a bit better, and it's just, I guess, the nature of my background with my trading style. I like to be. I generally have always had tight risk on my trades, probably a little bit too tight at times, which I've paid for, like I said. But yeah, that's probably what happened back at that stage. There's some other things we were looking at. Let's just go through. Yeah, I think we've talked about this one. CKF. I really did like. I really do like that price action. You can see that we may have a bit more contraction to go. Bad news come out over the weekend. Look, I don't think so. I didn't see anything come out. I haven't seen. I generally check Bloomberg. What's popping up on Bloomberg? I haven't seen anything pop out there. There were some numbers just recently. Let's just take a look if anything's come out there. Sorry, I tend to look at Forex Factory if anyone wants to know. Japanese trade balance has come out. That was a 1050. Imported and export goods. Actual grade and forecast good for their currency. So probably not so good for their stock market, but that's come out a bit stronger than they expected. And how's this for numbers? Come out as 0.36 trillion. They were expecting 0.21 of a trillion. Come out at 0.35 trillion. So it's pretty much in line with what previously came out. They expected it to be a bit weak, and it was still fairly strong. So good for the yen, but it may have put some pressure on their market, which has probably maybe put pressure on our market in turn. Sorry, I just saw that the Poms won the MotoGP and the All Blacks flogged us again. Perhaps that's it. Yeah, I think it's more depression. We slipped into depression on Monday morning. I think I told you at the MotoGP, so bugger that they won that. I was going for Rossi. It looked good for him to come in, but yeah, he just ran out of steam. All Blacks flogged us. Yeah, we're never going to like that. Yeah, so the market down. I think it's more technical. That's what we discussed at the start of the session. Just that daily rolling over. We'll have a quick look at that again. Intraday. Even the hourly. Yeah, you've taken out this key level. We've just popped through that level there. What's that low at 53.86? So 53.85. We pushed down out, rejected that. At the moment, you've got another, right back here, some support zones. So we could just be washing out this sort of inside low and retesting this low down here. I'll get up the CFD. I like the CFD because it shows a bit better picture. So yeah, we can see that 53.80 zone. We've just traded into that. So that's, if that doesn't hold up, yeah, it's like we said, we could just get that big washout and then pop back and build a high low, or we could just continue low. We don't know. But at the moment, that, and I think this is what people are looking at. So as you get a few candles that are not looking very nice, and you're breaking it down to that half an hour chart, you're starting to get those lower highs. You can sort of anticipate that this is going to be a lower high on a daily basis, and where we're going to next, 53.80. So that's probably why it's been sold down to that level. Start of the week, bit of a washout at the start of the week, and we could trade higher into the end of the week. We don't know, but yeah, I'd say that's probably why we're down so hard. A big washout. We could just, one of those days where you wash out the lows and then just trend higher into the close. Yeah, but I'm sort of sticking with the MotoGP and the the flogging by the All Blacks. Let's just have a quick look at where we are. We don't want to see that. We want to see the daily. All right, that's our Qantas. It looks like it's rolling high, but today's not going to help. Really, what was it, 320.21? We're short. We're long from 322. Sorry. As an alert, and it's really back to where we got in. We've got our risk fairly tight at just below this level here. I think it's 314, just below that. We may even have it just below 310 at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. If we can break to this high, 329, then yeah, we can raise that risk up. So we may just be contracting. It may take a few days to work out, and then you get some good moves higher. What else we got? ABC, we're looking a bit more for more contraction off those. So a double bottom there. We made that higher low just in here. Potential higher low here. For more confirmation, we want to see that start rolling up again. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. MTS has been struggling. We got in around 214, so it's pretty much there. It hasn't done much since then, but we're still looking at risk below this low here, 206 at the moment. So that, yeah, I don't like that type of price action, but in context of all this, those higher lows are holding, and they're still looking really good, at least on a weekly. But that move down, maybe contraction up, we could be looking for another rollover. So we've got to keep that in mind, in the back of our mind on a daily basis. That's a longer term weekly. So that daily leg up is still holding. Don't mind that. I wouldn't mind a pop to the top side to see that through. It's going to put some pressure on through 225. We'll just have to see how that goes. What else have we got here? SXY. That's pretty much where we got in. Breakout here. We're back there after push up to 220. It's 29 cents. Structure looks good. Still like that structure. You've had a good push down here, holding support, pushed up, consolidating. That's consolidating now. We're probably in early in that consolidation, looking for that push out to the top side. But still, I like that type of price action. You've had that move down, that wash out of this recent high, a pullback, holding high low just at the moment. So on a daily basis, we're getting in here, expecting that to hold at 22, 23, and then for that move up to take out these highs at 33, putting yourself in a good spot. Just got to see that price action play out and have to watch that carefully. BWX, another grinder, not doing too much. 505 was good, a good little entry, but it's just those days again, that sort of low volatility days, just banging around, edging its way high, but nothing significant at all. Yeah, that looks like it's probably about it. We haven't got too much running just at the moment. It was at 36, this little breakout, holding those higher lows, little minor higher lows. I know we're probably a bit aggressive because you've still got this high to contend with at 37. I think it's half a cent through there. Yep, half a cent through there. So the signs are showing that half a cent trade up through that little level there it could easily pull back, hold us. We're still in at 36, and just see what happens, and then build that another high low, and then take us through 37, potential up into the same 40 and above. We'll see how that goes. But this contraction lower, if we go to the weekly, that major contraction lower is really just breaking, so we could just go into some consolidation, or we may rush up, have a rush up, make that major lower high. In that case, we're up. We'll see what happens. We can lock in a profitable trade, or at least break even, then roll over from there. But we'll see how that plays out later. All right, well, that's about it. I think we'll call it a day there. Like I said, if you've got anything you want to look at just over the night, if you want to send through a chart, something, a breakdown of some trades you're looking at or something, yeah, send it through to support at tradesetup.com.au, and just let us know where you got in. We'll analyse that. Other than that, thanks very much for joining us again. Thanks, guys, for the questions. That was great. And then, yeah, we'll speak to you tomorrow morning around that 10:15 mark again. So we're aiming generally for around 10:15. It's going to give or take, generally take a few minutes, but yeah, around that time each morning. So yeah, be ready. All right, thanks, guys. Speak to you then.